Today we're going to talk a bit about slope-intercept form and how to convert standard form to slope-intercept form, because you're going to see that. So first, as a reminder, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. To remind you, or to go over for the first time, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. And then x is still your input, y is still your output. And really that's all I'm going to touch on this page. So we need to remember this. And then I'm going to go on to the next page where it says standard form. So let me write the slope-intercept form again. Okay. The standard form is usually ax plus by equals c. So in this case, a, b, and c are all constants. Well, a and b are coefficients in this case, but they will become part of the form. Our goal, whenever we see standard form, is to try to get it back into slope-intercept form. So in doing this, you're trying to get y completely by itself. So basically, you're solving these equations for y. You're not trying to find x. You're not trying to find the value of y, but we're solving this equation for y. And to do that, we would need to get everything else away from it. So right now, 2x is being added to y, so to get rid of it, I would subtract it on both sides. But when I subtract it to the other side, there isn't an x term. If you want, you could add in a 0x, because that is still 0, so that you could combine those x's. The last thing, so if you don't do this to begin with, you'll need to switch these two so that the slope or variable term comes first. And make sure your signs match. Right? Then I can say that my slope is -2 and my y-intercept is 3. Let's try one that's a little bit more complex. Because in number 2, this one has a number in front of y, and number 1 did not. But the first step is always the same. You need to get rid of this x term. By either adding or subtracting. So in this case, 4x is being added to 5y, and 4x is positive. So we're going to subtract 4x to both sides, which leaves 5y equals, I'm going to go ahead and switch these so I don't have to do it later. But now y is not by itself. So we have to get y completely by itself by dividing, since 5 and y are multiplying. And when we do that, we need to divide to everything. So that leaves me with -4/5 x minus 6. Which means our slope is -4/5 and our y-intercept is -6. It's the same process all the way down. I just want to do a couple more so you see the negatives as well. So for number 3, start off the same, x is positive, so we're going to subtract x to the other side. And then I'm left with negative 3y. I'm going to go ahead and put my x term, or my variable term, first. And then divide everything by negative 3. And when you divide by your negative, you just need to make sure that if it was already negative, it becomes positive, and if it was positive, it becomes negative. So this would be positive y, positive 1/3 x, minus 4. Another way we could have written this is just y equals x over 3 minus 4. These two are the same. Either way, the slope is still 1/3. And our y-intercept is negative 4. The last one I want to do is number 7, because this x term is negative. So here, because it's negative, I'm going to add 6x to both sides, leaving 4y equals positive 6x plus 20. And then I can divide everything by 4. In this case, when you divide 6 and 4, you're going to end up with a fraction. Make sure that you simplify this fraction all the way down. So here I can say our slope is positive 3/2, and our y-intercept is positive 5. The other 4 I didn't do are going to be solved very similarly. Add or subtract the x term. If there is a coefficient in front of y, whether that's negative 1, negative 2, there's another negative 1, positive 5, whatever it is, divide everything by that number and then rewrite it so it's in slope-intercept form. And find your slope and y-intercept.